All right, so I'm presently working on a few pieces of furniture because I want to get everything done quickly in this room so I don't have to deal with dust after. Once I'm done making this furniture, I don't want to start doing woodworking or metalwork again. So I'm getting everything done as fast as I can from this shelf setup that I have over here, which I have to install more or less permanently on the desk. I just don't want to screw the legs into the desk directly, so I'll have to cut some metal and create a way to connect it to that desk here. I've got this piece of office furniture where I'm going to put like shelves here, give it more structure to make it solid. And this is going to be a bunch of drawers, so 3 drawers. And that's the front of it that I have to cut in 3 parts. And I've got this here to be the bottom of the bottom of the drawers. What you see here is going to be the supports for the speakers for my music desk. I have an idea to do something like this, where I weld this together, and that'll support the shelves, which are going to be a bit unbalanced, and that's why this very thick, I think it's 16 gauge steel, is going to be necessary. So I'll have it kind of not like a cross, but like this, screwed into the bottom of the shelf, and connected to this here, right? So other than that, so that's the office, the music, the 3D printer and sewing machine shelf, and if I'm sure there's something else like a shoe rack or something I have to make, but for now, let's say these are the main pieces that I'm working on. Oh, and the arcade machine, of course. The arcade machine that you can see in the shorts, that's a heck of a project because there are the buttons I have to solder, the guns that I have to add to the whole setup. Actually, I'll go and look at it now. Hold on. Let's see. Right. So until I can have everything finished, I don't have room for anything in my home. I'm just I'm walking around in a very condensed space with tools everywhere and materials and stuff that I have no place to store. Eh, it's a bit tiresome, and I would do more work today, but it's already late and I'm a little bit exhausted. So this is the arcade machine that I'm working on. That's a TV I bought something like 15 or more years ago at Walmart. I barely used it, so it's like brand new. And I want to say, for anybody who has a TV like this, it's very heavy. It's like 92 pounds almost. This is an old Sanyo, a cathode ray. You really have to play with the settings, the image settings, because otherwise the blacks are way too pronounced, and I couldn't see anything from the computer, like the computer image. I also had to downgrade the resolution, and I didn't get it perfect at the perfect level, but I got it to something like 800 by 600 or something. Anyway, so my plan is to cut holes out here in the bottom part. There's more stuff in the way, I'm sorry. But I'm planning to cut holes there because I also have guns. So what I'm thinking is this here can drop down and be stored underneath, and then I pull them out and pull them up and adjust them and put them into place, so that way they can be used to play gun games like Duck Hunt and whatever that I'm actually making myself in Unity. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I have to say about the arcade machine, other than up here Up here you have JBL speakers. They're like car speakers. And anybody who's planning to make an arcade machine, I recommend strongly that you use really powerful speakers, like full range speakers, so that you get like a nice sound that doesn't sound like that doesn't come across as if it's from a can. Because there's nothing worse for sound when it doesn't move you. Um, this has a lot of bass. I have to be careful not to crank it up too high when I'm, whatever time of day. I don't want to disturb anybody in my apartment building. But yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice to have the treble that is clear, but also the bass that makes you move a little bit. I've had to use an amplifier from China, and I had to buy some expensive copper cable as well, and buy some connectors as well for like banana plugs and RCA plugs. And I'm going to also make an extra cable once I've got the. I'm going to order um, some shielded cable to use for the connection to the stereo plug in the back of the computer for left and right speakers. But anyway, the audio is amazing, and that really helps the effect. I remember being in the arcade listening to or watching people play Mortal Kombat 2 and listening to the music and the soundtrack. Very, very. It's memorable. You don't forget something like that. So now when I'm running these tests to see to get a sense of the overall experience of playing games on this, I feel it's similar to what I had in the past. These grills I bought also from AliExpress. And this light, I'm going to see if this little light matrix of LCDs is going to be good enough. I have some plexiglass as well as a touchpad that I want to use as an interface. I bought all of that already, but and the last thing may be like here. I may cut this out to either put a touchpad like a mouse pad that you would have on a trackpad on a laptop computer, or I have a trackball. But I'm not too happy with the trackball. It's a little rough using that, so either I'm going to invest in a more expensive one, or I'm going to just use something else altogether, or leave it out maybe. Anyway, and as for the buttons, I decided that the buttons would be that I'd have like a number of buttons, like 8 buttons here, and this could be like start and select. But I thought, you know what? What if there were a game with like 10 buttons? At least it'd be close enough. You have your hand here. You can reach all of the buttons pretty easily with your fingers. So once you get a sense of where everything is placed, you can have an easier time playing them. And look how my hand, uh, how this configuration is for the position. So my fingers touch everything, right? And for the spacing, I think there's enough space. Someone's standing here at the corner, and the two positions here in the center, and the other one at the end here. I think there's enough room for everyone to stand and play comfortably. So that was part of my design choice. I put a lot of thought into this. Oh, and I guess I should mention I've been waiting forever to get the router bit that allowed me to make this groove for the T molding. So we'll see how all of this comes together. It hasn't been easy. I mean, just making this box here hasn't been easy. Oh, I can show you the amplifier since it's in here. That's the amplifier I'm using. And I have my mouse here for now. I won't need it forever, but making this controller box making this at home on my kitchen floor. Uh, Trying to get these angles in here without having the right braces, or yeah, I guess braces. It wasn't easy. And like I said, this TV weighs about 92 pounds. So 92 pounds, you have to have a strong enough structure to hold that on. It's not an LCD. Um, so I've been working at this for about a year now, on and off, because I've had so many other projects and problems and health problems. So anyway, I'm here now. I hope to finish this in the next, I don't know, maybe a few weeks, hopefully before Christmas, and even have some games made for it that I'll make myself. I got a finished Duck Hunt that you can see on my channel, Donkey Kong, some Mario Brothers games maybe eventually, The Legend of Zelda, and then I'll move on to something like my own creations in 3D would be great, because I have my own ideas. All right, so this is not all that important compared to the other furniture that I'm making, because I need a setup to make music. I need a setup for my electronics. I need a setup for my sewing, my 3D printing, my carpet making, my illustrating, because I can draw too, and I need to find jobs where I can work on contract. So if I can get all of that going and then other stuff, then I'll be able to support myself, hopefully, and get off of disability money from the government. But this is this is something like a miracle that I was hoping somebody would help me find years ago. And with the means that I got, the money that I got, I didn't take a vacation. I just bought all the tools that I could and did everything I could, like crazy stuff, like bringing uh, a dolly truck full of wood through the subway system all the way to Montreal, to a place where I had to pay, I had to pay to use their tools. It was limited what I could do there, and it was really out of my way. So I decided I would get all the tools myself. I you know, I just YOLO'd. You know, you only live once. I went for it, and we'll see what a couple years of assembling all these things and designing these things and learning all these new skills will lead to. Hopefully this week I'll be doing some welding. If I can get that completed, then I've just opened a whole new door to a whole other world of skills that I otherwise don't have yet. And I mean, soldering the speakers, I'm going to make sure I've done them right, because I did a quick job and just a Hail Mary, hoping that it would be all right. Anyway, and then the paint job for this, that's a whole other thing. I bought laminating paint, I guess you could say, and some dyes, and I'll see how I can use that to make the side panels all red. I might have to sand them a little bit more. I tried for a week or two to make them as flat and without any cracks or anything as possible. But yeah, this is for one guy who's never done this before. It's a big deal. So if you're jealous, keep that in mind. If you want to do something like this, if it's a passion project for you, it's going to require some sacrifice. It's going to create some pain for you, like it's done for me. But when you come out of it, when you're done with it, you have created something amazing that showcases your abilities and your drive, right? Everybody's got potential. Not everyone has willpower. If you stand out that way, you're special. I mean, I'm not trying to gloat or whatever I'm saying. I'm trying to be a good example to other people, right? And it requires something of me. All right, so thank you for checking in.